Jacob from Wager Me This. How's everybody doing? I went and hung out with Larry Holloway today. Had a good time. We played some dice. I got beat up. He did okay. I didn't invest enough money in the game to give myself a really good chance. But I had a great time. We had a really fun time. The table was good. I mean, we had a lot of fun players there for a while. But no, I lost a little bit of money. Larry won a little bit of money. So it was a good day, fun day. On my way home now. I didn't tell anybody because Larry, he wanted to hang out with me, and we went out to eat and stuff. It's kind of just like a me and him thing. So that's cool. Not much. How's everybody doing? Anyway, so we had a good time. Hung out a little bit. He kept buying me martinis, and so I was playing like crap. So it was funny. But no, I had a good time. Really good time. Yeah, I had to not have any more drinks and start drinking some water so I could drive home. But no, we had fun. He lives about 2.5 hours away the other direction, so he's on his way home too. He made a little amount. I don't know how much he made. He said like 400, and I lost a couple hundred. Now maybe 200. I don't know. Not a lot. There wasn't a whole bunch of them. Hello, Ike. Hello, dudes. Hello, everybody. But we had a really good time. Me and Larry had a good time. It was fun. He gave me a bunch of bottles of booze. He gave me 3 more bottles of booze. Well, he gave my wife one, and then me a couple. He makes that clear that that's hers. It's funny. I took him, well, he paid because he insisted on paying for the lunch, but what style were you playing? I was playing the losing style is what I was doing. No, it's not your fault. We had a good time, though. We had a lot of fun, Larry. That was really fun. Really good time. He's in the chat now. No, I wasn't, like, I didn't stick to anything, any kind of strategy. The table guys, I'm serious when I tell y'all, this table was really fun. And so I was just having fun. I was playing, and there was one really long roll, and I really didn't make any money on it. At the end of this one really long roll, yeah, the tables are long there. The tables are really, really basic. There's no anything special on them, and they're really long. They're not made to win on, really. They're just not. But we had it was fun. But I had guys, and I had my best shot of the day going, right? And I was shooting from a dealer side hook, all right? I was on like a terrible spot to be shooting the dice from. And I was shooting them all across this 105-foot table to the other corner. And I was nailing numbers, and I was on a good roll. And this guy colors up in the middle of my roll. And then he stands there with his hands hanging over that corner because he's in that other corner. And so I threw the dice at him. Like, I threw the dice, and they landed on the rail right next to him. But it was just it was a jerk move he pulled. And even the dealers and the boxman and everything, they knew what I did. Everyone knew what I did. And yeah, it was just a jerk move that he did. Yeah, he was a dick. And he had the best roll of the day. Right before this guy had this long, huge, awesome roll. And I didn't 7 out right there. It was like 3 or 4 rolls later, but it was just a really dick move that he pulled, because it was by far the best roll I'd had of the day up to that point. And he didn't do it illegally. It was on a come out roll, but he, you can wait if you're done playing. Just wait. Come on, man. But yeah, he colors up right in the middle of it, and he is the exact spot that I'm shooting the dice to. So I'm shooting from a back corner to a front corner, and he's and he sticks his hands about 10 inches over the table there, sitting leaning on the table. And so they're exactly where I'm trying to throw these dice. And so I threw them next to him, and they landed on the rail probably about 6 inches from him. Yeah, both dice too, not just one. But yeah, it was just, it aggravated me. What's funny is at first I don't think he realized I threw them at him. And then after everyone was kind of laughing about it, I think he realized it. But it was, normally I don't do anything like that, because normally I don't really care. No, it wasn't overhand. But normally I don't really care about that, but this dude, why'd you do that? Come on, man. And on his roll, everyone was cheering him on and stuff. He had the best roll. He had a great roll. And everyone was making money, and it was a good time. And me and Larry, we were paying the dealers' light bills. It seemed like we were the only ones on the table tipping, Larry. I guess they only needed us. But yeah, it was a good time. Yeah, Now, I don't know if he tipped or not. He probably did. But basically, for the huge majority of the time, me and Larry were playing on the table. The dealers were playing too. So, at one time they had their bets up to I bet that one time they were close to 96 across. It was on that old man that I threw the dice at on his roll. I bet they were close to 96 across, because they had a couple big bets. Yeah, the dealers were winning too. Anyway, it was fun. I had a great time. But no, it was a good time. Good stuff. Hanging out with Larry's cool. That's the second time we've hung out together. But the first time we really didn't hang out all that much, just a little bit. But that's why I didn't mention it to anybody. And I know other people might have wanted to show up or something, and it's nothing against you. But Larry specifically asked me to come play with him, and so I didn't want to. It was kind of like us hanging out, and I'm sure everyone can understand that. But it was fun. I had a good time. But we were at Oaklawn, at the horse track here in Arkansas at the Oaklawn. The craps tables there they're not built for players. They're basically as generic a casino craps table as you can get, and they're big. They're really big tables. The dealers they're friendly. The dealers are friendly, but they're not the best dealers in the world. They're not bad dealers by any means, but they're not Las Vegas dealers, or but they're good people. They're just normal good people from around there. So so sometimes bets get messed up and stuff, and you got to really pay attention to stuff there. But they're good people, though. I don't want it to think like I'm saying something bad about them, because they're all really good people, and they've always been really good to me. So, but just from a dealing skills standpoint, so a lot of them are really new, or a lot of them are kind of on the end of their career. So, they're maybe not the same level as they were at one time. But no, they're good people though. I don't want that to get messed up like I'm saying something bad about them. But we had a good time. At least I think Larry did too. There was some animated people. There was this one lady. She was putting money in the field, and they were hitting. Oh, I'm going home. And they were hitting, and she was getting the double ups and everything, and it was great. And she was putting little stacks in there. I mean, she was putting $100 stacks in there and stuff, and it was pretty fun. And she was animated. There was one roll, and she goes, "Oh hell yeah!" It was hilarious. But no, it was a good table for the most part. A lot of fun. When it really bothers me at craps tables, especially if it's going good and people are winning. When people aren't fun, I can't hardly handle it. I gotta kind of try to liven it up, because if you're winning money, I mean, I get it. If you're losing, it may not be all that great. Maybe having a terrible time, but when you're winning money, I mean, you gotta have fun. I mean, it has to be fun. It's almost like they don't want to talk or nothing. Hey guys, Larry saw it today. I'm pretty loud at the craps table, so I'm not like quiet. I'm relatively vocal, and I interact with the dealers. So, and every now and then I'll get off my square and I'll throw the dice at some asshole. I don't usually do it, but every now and then. And I get, sometimes people just don't know the etiquette, and that's one thing, not knowing the etiquette, or maybe you had a really big hand and a big hit and you were just excited, and I get that. But this guy had been there all day like us. He'd been sitting there as long as we had, if not longer, and he wasn't excitable or nothing. He was ready to quit, and he was just going to get in the way, and that's what he was doing. So, but anyway, I do kind of feel bad about it. What's funny is the dealers recognized what I did right away. Like the second I threw them and they landed up there, they knew exactly what I did. Yeah, the hardways were killing it. That one guy had his hardways built all the way up to $100 at one time, and he hit one of them for sure. It was the hard 10. So I mean, that's pretty good. Yeah, the hardways were really high. But it was a really good time. I had a good time. There was, because it's only 3 on each side there. You can only have 3 players on each side. There was some people standing behind me, and they were giving me their money to make bets for them. And the dealers made me quit because I was taking their money and making bets for them. They were just betting in the field, so it wasn't a big deal. But yeah. But they made me quit, so... But the dealers were loving Larry. By the way, guys, when Larry plays craps, Larry's hilarious. He's hilarious when he plays craps. Because he's quick-witted. Larry's really quick-witted. And so he was talking all kinds of shit. It was funny. And then, hey, Larry, what was that little old lady doing? That little old lady, there's this little old lady. She was creeping up behind Larry and getting right up on him. It was funny. And he's like, "Ma'am, do you need something?" Because she was getting all right up on him. Yeah, it was funny. But yeah, it was a great time. And again, shout out to Larry. Really good time, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for inviting me. Yeah, I don't know. That lady was, she was just some weird shit. And it was like, Larry said something to her a couple times, and she was like, oh, I'm just looking at your dice. I'm just looking at your dice. But it was a good time. And the dealers loved you, Larry. They thought you were great. Yeah, she might have been. So next trip is down to you, Larry. I'll head down there to Louisiana, and we'll check out that electronic craps table. I've never played on one, so I want to check it out. Got to get the wife a little more situated. Hopefully we learn something coming up in these next couple of doctor appointments. But other than that, I had a really good time. But as far as strategy, my strategy was less than today. I wasn't overly trying to really play a strategy, though, either. I was just kind of randomly placing bets. I didn't really stick to anything. I was really there, guys, and normally I say this, when I go to play to have fun, I don't really expect to win. I just don't. I go there and I'm just hanging out, and we're there having fun, and that was what I was more interested in. But there was definitely times when I was ahead. So after that guy's long roll, I don't know, I was up $100 or something, and I could have quit, or I could have got more conservative there. There was plenty of times that I could have done plenty of other things. Yeah, we're narrowing it down. We're narrowing. Hopefully, these doctors are gonna get some kind of diagnosis situated. See, because one of the things, and guys, I'm not trying to tell you my life story or nothing, but since you guys are like a second family to me, I talk to you guys as much as anybody. So, one of the things is my wife's got 2 degrees, and one of them is in like criminology. It has it's like criminology, but it's what do they call that? Specialized for mortuary science. So, and then her other degree is in teaching. Well, with the stuff she's going through, she can't do any of what she's supposed to be doing, and she hasn't been working and stuff, and so it's wearing on her. That she hasn't been able to, as they call it, do her part and all that, working and all that. It's really bothering her. So we really need a diagnosis. So because it's not that she hasn't tried to get other jobs again, it's that they won't hire her because she's going through this medical stuff. And so when she discloses that she is, because she doesn't want to not disclose it and then get fired later on, so she discloses it, and none of them will hire her because of it. Even though she's qualified and all that. So we've ran into a little bit of that, and so it bothers her. It doesn't bother me all that much, because it doesn't really matter to me if she stays home or if she works. Either way is fine with me. But I know she liked it. She liked teaching and stuff, so without a diagnosis, we're never going to be able to get past whatever, or she's never going to accept that maybe she just can't go back to work. So until there's that, so that's what we're hoping to get that finally. And we've went to a lot of doctor appointments so far. Thank you, Donald. Yeah, sure, man. Just email it to me. That and be very descriptive, like every angle of the strategy. That way I have an idea of how to play it, and I'll play it out for you on video. we'll do a live one or whatever so you can interact. And yeah, I'll do it. But be very descriptive so I can run some reps before I have the video. That way I got an idea. Because that's one of the things that happens. Hello, Top Hat. I'm doing pretty good. But yeah, hey, just send it to me. You can send it to wagermethis.com. If you go there, you can write a comment. You go right down to the bottom. You can send me, or you can just do it wagermethis@gmail. Thanks, Hoss, buddy. Either one, wagermethis@gmail, or if you go to wagermethis.com, down at the bottom, there's a way to contact me. I think it's the same thing, but and also, guys, if you don't already know, if you go to wagermethis.com and scroll all the way to the bottom, you can get my phone number. But if you're going to get my phone number, text me first, because if you call and you're from Indiana or something, I don't know anybody from Indiana, so I'm not going to answer. So text me and say, hey, this is so-and-so and I live in Indiana. And, I'll answer then. But yeah, so... and that's for anybody. It doesn't matter to me. I wouldn't have put it on there if it wasn't for anybody to use. But I don't like to say it over the air or whatever. I appreciate that, Dave. But if you do want it, there it is. It's just go to the website, check it out. I have a lot of stuff on my website too about craps too, guys. A lot of blogs that everything on my website, guys, I did personally. Sure, you can bet anything you want for the dealers. You can put any amount of money you want for the dealers. The most I've ever put for the dealers is 160 across. I bet a 160 across bet for the dealers one night. It was the night that I hit the ATS. I had 25, 10, 25 on it. Can you take them down? Okay, so I see what you're asking. If you're going to do that, awesome, Larry. If you're going to do that, you just need to make them your own bets and then give them the profit if you want to be able to take them down. Because I do have merchandise. It's on my site. You just got to click the link. It's on Teespring if you're interested. I haven't put that much effort into my merchandise just because, don't get me wrong, I think it'd be cool for people to be wearing my name around on t-shirts, but it's one of those deals. I'm not a big fan of charging anything, and I feel like the merchandise, since I have to charge because I don't make it myself, it's made through that Teespring place, so I have to charge something. That's one of the reasons. So I don't put a lot of effort into it. I did all the t-shirts I did design myself, or my wife designed though. So, and the masks and all that. The masks seem to be going away though. Do I have custom chips? No, I don't have no custom chips, and I'll tell you all why. Because the Craps Nation guys started that chip thing, right? They all made their own chips and everything. And at first, they didn't really include me in nothing. And so I thought they didn't really want me to be part of it. Yeah, but Josh, yours is specific because you beat me in something. So I specifically made that for you specifically. That's a little different. Skill, I didn't quite catch that comment, buddy. But so I'm not on the Craps Nation thing. So like they were all doing that, and I had planned on doing it, but then like I felt like it was their thing and not really my thing, so I didn't do it. And that was, I kind of, I love the Craps Nation guys, but for a long time I was kind of on the outside of their group. I really wasn't part of their group. So, I felt like that was their thing, not my thing. But I mean, I could have one. I'll be honest, guys. If I did have a chip, he hasn't contacted me about a date yet or nothing. We did talk about it a little bit, but he hasn't contacted me about a date or whatever. He has a couple more people in front of me. I know that. Okay. Color Up, I'm not gonna say he insisted that I join his Discord club, but he wanted me to join his Discord club to get to play him. I don't. Yeah, I saw that. Appreciate that skill. I don't have a problem joining people's clubs or whatever, but guys, I don't charge. So I don't pay for other people's content. It's just something I don't do. So I don't know. It just was weird. Weird deal there. Right, and that's why I didn't have a problem with it. Everyone else did it, so I wasn't really concerned in that fashion. In fact, I kind of felt obligated a little bit, because everyone else that did the contest or whatever, the challenge, they did the same thing. It's just not my style. And I'm not saying nothing bad about him. That's his thing, and that's his style. And I mean, obviously he knows what he's doing. He's built it to where he's built it, so he's doing great. And I like Jeremy a lot, but it's just not my style. I've never asked Let It Roll to run anything for me. I like Rick a lot. But guys, I've never asked. Oh, I don't feel excluded now, but I did at first. I felt like that wasn't, because I never got asked to do anything or anything until way later into it. But I mean, it's cool. I don't have no issue. Y'all do your thing. But I mean, Rick, I love Rick. I think Rick's great. Yeah, that's why Jeremy's videos are so good, because he does that professionally. That's why his stuff is so good. Like his graphics and all that are really, really good. He's really good at what he does. Yeah, Color Up was my first Craps video I watched too. Videos I watched. Yeah, Color Up's great. Oh, this traffic is terrible. I drove through Little Rock because the bypass thing is shut down, or is one lane. Yeah, my video production is absolutely terrible. You guys, you want to know the extent of my video production? I turn my camera on my phone and I go. There's no fluff. I'll go for that. Craps Nation is mostly light side players. Yeah, that's the truth. I appreciate that. Guys, it took me a while though. I've got better at getting what I'm trying to do across. My first videos, yeah, maybe that's true. If I had one more martini, I might have got that guy right in the eyes or between them. But yeah, my first videos were much less yeah, I've heard of it. But my first videos, guys, were not good. And like I was really bad at conveying my point. And I've got really, really versed at getting the math across. And that's one of the hard things. Is getting the math across, because when you're talking about math, especially in craps, yeah, yeah, 36 DAX, yeah. But one of the things about the math in craps is, guys, math in craps is tricky because it's 3 parts, okay? So every roll has 3 parts, okay? So you have the bet part. It has a certain kind of math to it. You have the loss part, whatever your loss is, and then you have just the natural math of the game of the overall probability of the dice. So the math is tricky. It's like a 3-part math. Every throw of the dice, if you have a bet on the table, has 3 parts, or possibly 4 if you have bets both ways. So conveying the math in craps is tricky. It's because you can easily jump out there and say the house edge of this is this. Well, and that's true, but the actual in-game math is not the same as the house edge. The house edge is built over thousands of rolls. Yeah, I like 5s. Guys, I think 5s does a really good job. And I think that out of everybody that's analyzed the anything but 10, his analysis of it was the most on point when it comes to not promoting it or not discounting it. He was just saying this is what it is, and this is what you're going to be looking at playing it. And from a completely random standpoint, which is, let's be honest, what most people are playing from, is a completely random standpoint, this is what you can expect. It was a very good, thorough, direct analysis. Now, the video isn't overly long, but it's very on point what he's saying. There was nothing false in it. And so, because a lot of times you get analysis on people's strategies or whatever that's either biased too heavily one way or the other. They're like, this is the best strategy in the world, it works all the time. Or they're like, this will never work. And neither statement is true. So when you're given a good, fair analysis, which is what 5s does, and I had a really good time watching the video he did on it. And I liked all of his points. They're really good. So that's my opinion on it. And since it's directly related to the videos I make, that's why I like opinion on it. I thought his analysis on all those was great too, but they're not my strategies. Not that the anything but 10 is mine, but it's attached to my name, so I guess it is in a way. So, But either way, I thought it was great. It's just like DGE. I know a lot of people have a hard time getting behind DGE, what he preaches and what his style of gameplay is. But guys, DGE's style of gameplay works. It can be frustrating. I saw that. I did see you wearing it. It can be frustrating to play DGE style because it can be very slow and methodical, but it works. So, I mean, some players though, guys, and that's one thing is slow and methodical in craps works. It does. Yeah. It works. The problem is a lot of craps players don't want to play that. They want to play aggressive and high action and high volatility because that's what gets your blood flowing. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, the pucker factor. But so I mean, what Charlie's teaching, it's real. It gets discounted a lot, and I've seen it discounted a lot on various, not necessarily directly from anyone making videos, but in comments. So, and I don't really know why. Yeah. I think one of the reasons some people don't like it is because there's frequency-based theory in it, and a lot of people don't like frequency-based stuff where you're saying that if a 4 is rolled 4 times, you're not going to see a 5th before a 7, which to most people that doesn't sound crazy at all, but yeah, you do need a big bankroll with the way Charlie plays. That is true. But, you know, it's just, a lot of people have a hard time getting behind frequency plays. Right, yeah. But guys, I play frequency craps and I preach frequency craps. I talk about it all the time. And, so, okay, and I'm going to go into this a little further here. If you're talking about frequency plays, what you're saying is that basically most frequency plays are based against the 7. Okay, so if you've seen 2 4s before a 7, you know, there's supposed to be 3 4s for every 6 7s that you see. Just overall, every time you see 6 7s, you should be seeing 3 4s sometime in that huge group of rolls. All right, that it's going to take to get there. Well, if you've just saw 2 4s in a row, you're now at a 6-to-1 advantage on what you normally see. So you should see 6 7s from that point on and only 1 4. And that's all he's saying. And that's all he's saying, and a lot of people have a hard time getting behind that, because there is the belief that every single roll of the dice is absolutely independent of the last. There is that belief. But if you're going to believe that, in my opinion, if you're going to believe every single roll is independent of the last, then you can't believe House Edge. Because to make House Edge work, you have to have thousands of rolls. So that means all the rolls weren't independent. Yeah, a lot of people hate the martingale aspect. If you say the word martingale, craps players everywhere will instantly discount you. But honest, this is honest goodness truth. There's only one foolproof strategy. There is one foolproof one, but the casino has used table limits to fix it. And that's the martingale. If you had an unlimited table where there was no upper limit, you could martingale any bet on the craps table, and eventually it's going to win if there was no upper limit. But casinos limit that. I didn't say you insisted. What I said was that you told me, hey, you need to join the Discord, and that's what you said. Okay, yeah, you did say that, but I told you that I can't do it on my channel because I can't do the things you do. Like where you do the picture-in-picture and all that. I don't know how to do all that. And we had that conversation, and then you said I had to join the Discord. So I joined the Discord. A lot of traffic, guys. Sorry, I'm trying not to wreck. This guy's crazy. No, I'm heading home. I was playing with Larry Holloway. We had a good day. Had a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Yeah, rush hour traffic sucks. I totally agree. I actually hate traffic. We lived in a very country place. How much did I win? I won -200. -200. Oh, that's what happens when you don't play very well. That's what happens when you make a lot of bad decisions. That's the main problem, is I really didn't stick to anything. I really wasn't playing anything. I was just playing money out there. And I'm not having Jeremy on. I'm supposed to be going on his channel. That's what I was asked to do anyway. That's what the people were asking me to do, is when I was going to be on his challenge, not the other way around. A lot of different people have asked me that. When are you going to play on Jeremy's? Yeah, Larry, that's not what they told me last time I was there. The Martini system, yeah. Oh, I don't know. we hadn't talked about a time yet. He had other people in front of me, so he had other people to still go through their challenge or whatever. Right, club members first. Well, I'm not trying to promote myself. I do that fine on my own. Larry said he won some money. I think Larry won 400. Larry stayed a little longer than me, probably about 20 minutes longer than me. Larry is the man. Guys, Larry is awesome to play craps with. He's hilarious. No, absolutely not. Look, everyone else played to play. I'm going to pay to play too, man. Yeah, you're taking this all the wrong way. But you do what you want, man. I don't want the money back. I don't know how many times I can say that you were my inspiration and stuff to get into YouTube craps, and I still catch shit from you every time. Like, I don't know how much more props I can give you, man. Well, the session, there was one really good roll that had about a bazillion hardways in it. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, guys. Jeremy, if you feel like I'm trying to like promote off you or something, man, I'm good, man. I approached you with it because people asked me why I'd never been on your challenge. People wanted me to go on your challenge. So that's why I brought it up. I've brought it up other times. And you told me a long time ago that you had to get through club members or something. Man, I absolutely like everything to do with your channel. I tried to pattern my stuff off. That's why my layout is set up like yours. I film from directly above. Like everything you did on your early stuff is the same thing. Like, I patterned the way mine looks after you, because that's you were the one was my inspiration. So, like, I mean, I don't know how else I can, like, say that I like Jeremy's channel. I like what you do. I mean, I don't know what else to tell you. Yeah, the dealers got paid. Yeah, our editing is similar. And it might have sounded like that. It might have sounded in that fashion, but that's not what I meant. I actually don't mind, because that's what everyone else did. And so I don't mind it because of that alone, because that was part of the whole plan of it, is that you had to join that club to get that, to do that, and that's fine. Jeremy, since you're in here, I tried to play with you one time in Colorado when I was there visiting my family. I tried to play, and you kind of stood me up. And it was an acceptable deal, but you never reached back out to me, so I don't know what the deal with that was. It was a while ago now. It was, I think I might even been Blue Collar Sports. It wasn't when I was Wager Me This. I contacted you through email. We had a bunch of emails back and forth talking about a time to meet up and everything. And then when it got close, you said, hey, I can't be there, this and that, which was fine. But you never reached back out to me or nothing. So I thought maybe it was just that you just didn't want nothing to do with me. And that's honest truth right there. That's what I thought. I thought, damn, he must just not want nothing to do with me. So it was a long time ago now. It was probably 2 years ago. Because it was when, I'll tell you around the time it was when you first were trying to work with the casino, the very first casino you were trying to work with, and you were talking about it on your channel, and you were talking about them having, you were going to be able to film and stuff. It was right in that same period. So it was a while ago, maybe 2.5 years ago. Yeah, man, I felt like you were just like, nah, I don't want nothing to do with you, man. So I was like, cool. Well, the one thing, I do need to put a little caveat on it, and it's not that you stood me up, because the reason you gave that you couldn't be there was a legit reason. It's that you never reached back out to me. So then I got to wondering, like, man, did he just not want to play with me? And because it was something to do with your son. You had to do something with your son. And I can't remember the exact, but it was something to do with your son. So I was like, yeah, absolutely, I get that. But then, like, when you didn't reach back out, I was like, I was just like, maybe he just don't want nothing to do with me. So I was like, cool. If I remember right, it was some kind of camping trip, maybe. It was some kind of, maybe a camping trip. Like I said, this was a while ago now, and I'm relatively certain is when I was under the label of Blue Collar Sports. So, but either way, that's the way I felt about it. I was like, damn, all right. Don't do that. Don't do that. But anyway, yeah, I mean, like I said, it wasn't. That's why I don't. Yeah, I don't know. I got to talk to the wife, Larry. But like I said, Jeremy, was it the thing? I accepted that. I was like, yeah, man, I totally get it. My family absolutely comes first too. But like I felt like because I reached back out to you, and I know I did, and you just kind of ignored me. But it's cool. I mean, you were in the middle of building your thing and everything, man. I'm not mad about none of that or nothing. It's not. It's nothing like that. All I'm saying is that this happened. Yeah, it's the middle of, I live in the country, man. I live out in the there's a lot of country where I live in Arkansas. Pineapple martini. I drink vodka martinis. That's what I drink, is vodka. I don't mind gin martinis. I think gin martinis are just fine. No. Arkansas's lost too many games for a number one seed. I don't even think they should get to the 2 line. I think the 3 is generous. I think that's about where they fit, is the 3. You got to remember, Arkansas doesn't have no superstar. I love Arkansas, and I think we're playing above our heads a little bit. It won't be next week because I got to work. But I am going to be coming to Colorado sometime soon. My parents live in Southwest Denver, so hell, I'm still a small YouTuber. Yeah, the truth is without Jeremy's channel, a lot of us wouldn't have channels, and that's the truth. Because number one, we probably would have never thought to have a channel. So I know there was some that were there before him, or at least videos, but he was the first real YouTube channel for craps. Now, there was some dice shooting videos and stuff, but as far as a craps YouTube channel, he was number one. And that's why he's number one. So, I mean, he's earned it. In fact, I can't think of any channels that aren't patterned after his a little bit. At least a little bit. Maybe Crap Strategies Live, because Crap Strategies Live, he just always does bubble craps. So, but for them, I mean, everyone pretty much got their start from Jeremy. So, man, thanks, Jeremy. I mean, you did that. You really opened that door for everybody. So, I mean, guys like Rick from Let It Roll and stuff, myself, even a guy that doesn't even really make videos anymore, which is 36 Full Press. These guys, we all basically got our ideas from Jeremy. I mean, he's the king of it. There's no doubt about it. It's not a secret. I mean, guys, even check this out. Even the CEG guys, yeah, I know, I'm glad you did it. I'm glad you did it like this. People like to hear your voice, man, if it is just writing on a computer screen. People want to hear what you actually got to say. So I'm glad you did it in this fashion. Where, you know, it wasn't, you didn't send me an email or something like that. You actually came on and said, hey, I didn't like this. See you, buddy. Man, this traffic is crazy. I'm literally going 20 miles per hour on a 70 mile per hour highway. I'll be home at like midnight. But anyway, man, I should have. There's another way I could have went. I should have went that way. But Skill, don't you drive all the time? Like all the time, right? You're over the road, right? Professional driver, that's right. Maybe someday. I almost went to school for that when I thought I might get laid off a couple years ago. Through the first layoff, not this last one. I didn't think I'd get laid off this last time. But the first one I thought I might. You didn't derail my chat, man. This is normal. This is normal in my world. Normally I'm getting people blasting me about something. Not necessarily on these chats like this, but somewhere. And I know you have too. I'll say this, okay? This is one of the things that I think is really hilarious about some of the comments. And I saw these on yours years ago. People would comment saying, you can't win that way, da 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 da, or whatever. And you're like, man, I'm just showing a strategy. Whether you like it or you don't like it, that's up to you. I'm not telling you to play any way. You play whatever you want. I remember so many of those comments you were at first, and I was like, dang, why are they acting like that? Like, because like literally there was like a little disclaimer you'd almost say at the beginning of them. Yeah, I hooked them up $200. Like, hey, you can play however you want or whatever, but this is what this strategy says. Yeah, that's true. I agree. And I know a lot of people don't like King Dice, but I tell people all the time, I'm like, you guys are bashing King Dice, but you're talking about him. You obviously went and watched his show. And so, like, I tell people, I'm like, whether you like him or you don't, you're sure showing him love because you're watching him. But either way, I mean, because I don't have an issue with King Dice. I mean, we've had, he did tell me to fuck off on his channel one day. He told me to fuck off like 4 times. And then called me on my live stream. So it was kind of a weird little deal. See you, Mike. That's right. But yeah, so the King Dice was like called me and he told me all this story and stuff. I've had lots of conversations on the phone, guys, with King Dice. I've had a lot of conversations with him on the phone. He actually invited to bring me out to Las Vegas with him. He was going to pay my ticket and everything. I was like, no, man, I'm good. I'll get out there on my own. Because, guys, when I first go to my first trip to Las Vegas, it's got to be special. I've never been there as an adult. So I've never been there as a full-grown adult that can actually play. I only went there when I was a kid. And the only thing I remember about it is that we stayed at Circus, and this was a long time ago. So I don't know how run down it was then, because I was like 10 or something like that. I was pretty young. And I don't know how run down it was then, but I remember thinking it was like the coolest place in the world. Well, there was a lot of time between there. There was a lot of time between that, Fives. Yeah, this isn't a knock or not or whatever to him, but earlier videos he drank a lot and he was drinking, and since then he's quit that. And so in my opinion, his content's got a lot more, it's got a lot better since he kind of stopped that a little bit. I think his content has got way better. You know what's crazy too, guys, is I've been to over 180 casinos. And I've never been to Las Vegas. Not as an adult. All over Deadwood and stuff. My grandfather lived in Deadwood, so but I've been to all these little, but I've never been to Las Vegas. I've never been to any casinos in Nevada as an adult. I've never been to Nevada as an adult that I know of. That's cool. Larry's been to some places over there too. Larry spent a lot of time over there in Southeast Asia and stuff. But yeah. Hello, Magic. Yeah, I grew up in northern Idaho. I grew up way up by Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, and I was never an adult up there though, so I never went to the casinos. Yeah, that's funny. I know some other people that are like, well, I've never been to a casino that wasn't in Las Vegas. Jesus. That's like, VDC. I don't know if you guys watch VDC, but if you don't, you should. He's got a lot of good stuff. He's a Las Vegas guy, and I mean, he's got a lot of good stuff on his show too. And I don't know that he ever plays anywhere else. Man, last I knew, Dax for Full Press, he had kind of moved to Las Vegas or something, or moved that direction. I haven't heard from him in a while. He used to call me kind of regularly. But yeah, I haven't heard from him in a while. Yeah, I see him on Instagram some too. But yeah, he was calling me probably, twice or three times a month there for a while. When he was going through his little mess he went through, his little personal stuff there, he was calling me a lot. Yeah, it's easy to get my number, that's for sure. All you have to do is go look. I like roulette. My wife likes it too. This is honest goodness truth. Now, she's only played like 10 times, but I've never seen my wife lose at roulette. And by lose, I mean leave with less money than she came with. I've never seen her lose. And again, it's a very limited amount of time she's played. Yeah, I've never played card craps. I've watched some videos of people playing it. I mean, playing card craps, whether you believe in random rolling or not, and if you believe in control, whatever, playing card craps, it's all random. You don't, I mean, it's as random as you're going to get. I wonder what the longest cards craps roll is. I wonder what that is, because, the longest rolls, obviously, in dice craps are pretty long. So, and when I say long, they're in the hundreds of rolls. So, that's a lot. And I'm just curious if, because you think that, well, most of the longest recorded rolls in craps or dice are all random rolls, right? And that's the big argument. One of the big arguments against dice control is that the best craps thing. Yeah, they're a long time. 12 years, guys. It's a long time. A third of my life. I mean, I'm almost 40, but it was a third of my life, so. I have marks from it too on my nose where I got kicked in the face by some boots, in prison boots. And a little metal thing cut my nose right there. I don't know if y'all can see it. A little mark. That hurt. all I remember on that one was when because this is what happened in this situation. This is how the dude was able to kick me in the face. He wasn't a ninja or nothing. What happened is I was on top of his friend and I was winning. And he came over and he kicked me in the face. And so that's how that went. And so when he kicked me in the face, basically all I remember seeing is the ceiling and then hitting the ground. And then I remember seeing a lot more feet trying to kick me. And I rolled up under one rack and I stood up. And he had kicked me in my nose so hard that if anyone has been hit in the nose a lot, it makes your eyes just, you can't hardly see if you get hit in the nose really hard. And so I was just like randomly trying to fight random ass shadows and shit after he kicked me in the face. That one I got kind of lucky because it got broken up. The guards come rushing in and stuff. They saw the fight, so I got a little lucky on that one. But yeah, that was a pretty rough little situation, that one. $5,000. Boy, that doesn't leave any room for error. Okay, so if you were let's say you were trying to make $300 a day. I mean, I don't know what your daily wage is, but if you were trying to mimic your daily wage, it would be tax-free at that low, so you're not worried about that. But so you're trying to make $300 a day off $5,000. I mean, you could do it. yeah, you don't want to get unlucky. Yeah, I mean, you could do it, sure. But man, if you had one bad run, it would sure hinder it at 5,000. See, I've calculated this in my head, what I think it would take. But if you were just trying to make just a 1 day's wage, which is like $300, I would say, on average, probably. If you're just trying to make 1 day's wage, I mean, yeah, you could do it for a long time, I would say. But you got to remember, if you were considering it like that, it's not building that 5,000 would be the same all the time. You would just be taking that 300 and paying bills or whatever. So, I mean, if you had a couple days where you didn't win or where it didn't go so good, I don't know. I think it takes closer to 50,000 to live off of it, is what I think. And the reason being is because at $50,000, yeah, absolutely. So at $50,000, that gives you leeway. It gives you room to lose if you do have a bad run. So what I think is, okay, for example, this is how I would play it. If I was going to just try to make, set amount of money per day, let's say you wanted to make $300 a day. What I would do, with $25K you could probably do it, but what I would do is I would lay a big enough amount on the tent, and then I would place across the numbers plus the horn for enough for one single roll to make me $300. And that's, or $500 or whatever, and that's how I would play it. And the reason being is because that would mean that even if it's completely random, you have a 92% chance to 8% chance to succeed. So, and then I would practice my ass off on not throwing 10s. So, that's I mean, that sounds crazy, right? Because you're going to have to lay like 3,500 probably. But if you're only playing for one roll, I mean, you could do that a lot of times. I don't have any idea how many times you could do that. Because, I mean, even just getting lucky, just from a lucky standpoint, you would get lucky a lot. Okay, so 2,400. But yeah, that's what I'm saying, is that That's the way I would approach it. I would try to make my percentage chance of winning as high as I could on that first roll. Now, on the flip side of that, I mean, no, you could do it that way, absolutely. You could try to win more smaller amounts and not have as much at risk. Yeah, absolutely. For sure. But I just feel like that, I think you could practice yourself enough to get to where you limited rolling a 4 or a 10. I do think you could practice enough to where you could cut that average down even a little bit more. You got to think, if you even take that from 8% to 6%, that's a huge number when you're talking about over the course of a year, over 365 shots, because essentially you're just trying to roll once a day. So I don't know. I mean, I've put a ton of thought into this because I think I could do it for a living, but man, you have to play really big to do it, because you don't want to be there very long. You don't want the variance to kick in. You want it to be very direct, very quick. Me and Larry saw variance today at the table. The table was smoking hot and it went ice cold. I mean, crazy how bad it turned within just like right away. Well, anyways, guys, my phone is about to die. It's at 5% and I'm at my house. So you guys have a great day, and I'll talk to y'all later.